Hey guys, today I'm going to have some fun and solve uh, just a Leetcode challenge, but I'm going to do it not just a simple problem solving, but in the way to mock real algorithmic interview with help of new Algohack feature. This feature is a interview mode, and this interview mode allow you to turn any Leetcode task into the mock interview, where two AI-powered engineers, Matt and Mira, will interview you, and it's let you not just study how to solve the challenge, but also how to explain your solution, how to discuss it, how to answer different questions, and put your as close as possible to the real life algorithmic interview. So let's choose any problem. Let's take just first one as to sum problem. I even tried to solve it in the past. This is easy level task. I don't think we will have any problem with it, but let's start our interview mode and see how Matt and Mira will interview me to this task.
Hey there, welcome to the interview. This is Matt and Mira, your interviewers. How are you feeling today?
Hi guys, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Hi Max, we're doing well, thank you for asking. Before we begin, do you have any questions or clarifications about the task we sent over?
No, it's quite clear.
Great. Now let's start with the task at hand. Max, could you share your thought process on how you plan to solve this task?
Do you want me to solve it in code or just discuss possible solution?
We would love to hear your thought process and solution approach, even if you just describe it verbally. Please feel free to explain as much as you need to.
Okay, to solve this problem, I believe we need to create a kind of storage. It might be just a JavaScript object. What we need from the storage is a possibility to get from there any item with O from one complexity. And then we're going to go through nums in the loop and take each number. First, we're going to check if this number present in storage already. If it's not present, we're going to store here not this number, but difference between target and this current number as a key and as a value index of this number. So that finally, when we found numbers that present in this storage, that means that to find the target, we need number that present in the storage and current number because exactly we store difference between target and number in the past. So we just need to return index of current number and index which we stored previously in the storage. Doesn't sound good?
Great, you are on the right track. So if I understand correctly, you plan on using a hash table to store the differences between the target and each number with the index of each number as the value. Then you will iterate through the array, checking if the current number is already in the hash table, and if so, return the current index and the one stored in the hash table. Is that correct? Also, would you like to try writing this code in JavaScript? We are happy to provide guidance as needed.
Okay, let me start coding.
Looks like you've made a good start. Let's focus on iterating over the nums array using a for loop. You can start with creating an empty object or map to store the differences between the target and each number in the array.
Yes, firstly we created storage, and this is just a JavaScript object.
Yes, that looks correct. Now we can proceed with the for loop to check each number in nums. Inside the for loop, you can calculate the complement, the difference between the target and the current number, and check if it already exists as a key in the storage object. If it does, you can return an array with the stored index and the current index. If not, you should add the current number and its index to the storage object.
Yes, so as you can see, if we have current number in the storage, we return index, current index, and value of stored number.
You are very close. Just one small correction: instead of returning items IA, which will return the current index and value of the current number in the array, you should return storage nums I, which will return the index stored in the storage object and the current index.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Valuable note.
Great job implementing the conditional statement. Now inside the else block, you should add the current number and its index to the storage object by using storage target nums I equals sign I. This will store the complement as the key and its index as the value. And finally, outside of the for loop, you should return an empty array to handle the situation where there is no pair of numbers that add up to the target.
Okay, I believe we may left it as is. Does it looks good for you? Let's try to check.
It looks like you have added the storage object outside of the for loop. You should add this line of code inside the else block of the for loop like this. Additionally, you should return an empty array outside of the for loop like this. Once you make these changes, your code should work correctly.
Okay, I believe the problem here is we need undefined here because it's possible that it's 0.
You're absolutely right. Checking if the value is not equal to undefined is a more accurate way to check if a key exists in an object. Your code looks good now. However, you should include a return statement that returns an empty array outside of the for loop, just in case no two numbers in the array add up to the target.
Okay, but from our description, we may assume that each input have exactly one solution, so I don't think it's necessary.
You're right, I apologize for the mistake in the description. Since you only need to return one valid solution, it's not necessary to include an additional return statement to handle the case where there is no valid solution. Your solution implementation looks good now. However, I suggest you can provide an explanation of the time and space complexity of your solution if that's possible.
Yes, sure. Regarding time complexity, yeah, we have one for loop, so it's will be O from n. And the same it will be for space complexity, because we don't have here something extra. We just need to our initial array, and we need storage. So it might be 2n, 2 multiplied by n, but it's just a constant and we may neglect it. So O from n, it's a final answer for space and time complexity.
That's a great explanation of the time and space complexity of your solution. Your solution has a time complexity of O(n) and a space complexity of O(n) in the worst case. Since your implementation only uses a single loop and a hash table to store values, you have achieved a more efficient solution than one with a nested loop. Good job, Max.
Okay, thank you guys. It was easy. I hope I will have this job.
You're welcome, Max. It was great to have you in this interview. Your final solution looks good. Thank you for taking the time to explain your thought process as you went through this problem. We will review your submission and notify you soon about the next steps.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Max. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch soon.